Why have I waited so long to read this series? This is completely amazing. Welcome back. Yeah, as you can tell by the title, I am going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the IDM Collection Volume 1, and I have the other 10 volumes and the Batman sort of crossovers as well, and I just started reading this. I've been a big fan of the Turtles since I was just a little kid. My dad used to watch the 80s, early 90s show when he were young, and he sort of got me into it. And when 2003 came around, they introduced my favourite line of Turtles. As everyone else is, I suppose, the much more serious approach of the Turtles. I haven't watched none of them latest shows from 2012 and Wiser Turtles. I've not watched any of those, but this is pretty much similar to what I grew up with. That 2003, was it 2003 or 2005 or something like that? That is the ones I grew up with. And they are definitely similar. The characters are pretty much the same. I know it got Krang in it. I know you sort of had the sort of aliens from Krang in the Turtles I grew up with, but in like the late 80s, the Krang also that what introduced Krang. Well, in the show, I mean. I'm not sure if we were in the comics beforehand, but this was completely amazing. They introduced another mutant, well, two mutants I see, Hobbs is a giant cat, and we also got a giant coyote. I think her name is yeah, there she is. Trying to say your name, begin with A. Yeah, there we go. Alopex. So definitely a weird name, but the origin in this story is completely mind-boggling. I mean, in a good way. It's basically Splinter when he was human, who fight alongside the Shredder before he took over the name Shredder. But Splinter didn't like how Shredder was doing things, so he went off and just pretty much betrayed the Foot Clan because he didn't like how they were doing things. Because Shredder were the leader of the Foot Clan back in the feudal Japan era. And Splinter got 4 sons and a wife. But Shredder made sure he finished off Splinter's wife, killed her in cold blood, and went after his 4 sons. Until Splinter got there in the nick of time. And so a couple of years has passed, I believe, and he taught his sons martial arts to pretty much defend themselves, but it was sort of Well, I wouldn't say a waste because they've remembered what Splinter taught them. But Shredder came, he found where they are hiding, and I mean, in this video, you're gonna be able to spoilers, are prepared, but he decapitated, beheaded all four kids in front of Splinter's eyes. I would say the actual names, but I think Splinter's name is Yamamoto or something like that, and Shredder is Saki. But I'll go with the previous, the formal names. But years and years and years later, um, it got the second sort of origin story of the Turtles, but this time it's about the Turtles. Splinter was a lab rat in the Stockman's laboratory, and April were interned there, and then one thing led to another. She got introduced to Splinter, which were what who roam the lab freely because he's a capable little thing. And also in a sort of tank, there were four turtles, and April named each of the turtles Michelangelo, Leonardo, Donatello, and of course Raphael. And the first book of this, the first sort of couple stories of this book, it pretty much focused on Raphael. Some ninjas bust into the lab and almost killed April until Splinter sort of set off the alarm and they sort of got spooked. But not before they put all four turtles and the green ooze in a bag. But when Splinter seen what they did, he attacked them, and basically the bag whipped open, the ooze smashed on the ground above outside, and sorry about that, my mum just phoned me. Trust her to phone me while making a video. But anyway, where were I? I think I really liked the ooze. The ooze fell on the ground and the turtles and Splinter were covered in it. And also, one of the turtles got snatched up by a cat, who later known as Hobbs. So since the cat grabbed one of the turtles what were covered in ooze, the cat automatically had ooze on him as well. The turtle what he captured is Raphael, and Raphael, 8 months since that day, after Splinter managed to get away with Leonardo, Michelangelo and Donatello, but Raphael were no signs whatsoever and he needed to go, so they hid in the sewers. 8 months passed and they are looking high and low for the missing brother, and that pretty much sums it up in the first part of this book. But we also get introduced to more about Stockman and Krang, and the last few chapters issues we got introduced to Shredder as he is now, and you are keeping resurrected as well. So, and we also got introduced to Kawaii, who's in a TV series is Shredder's daughter. I think maybe adopted daughter, I'm not quite sure. It's been a long time since I watched it. But we got Kawaii, but it's never mentioned about her origins. I'm not sure if we will get her origins later on in the stories. But this one is really cool. And I love these IDM books. Reading order, I just don't know why they have not contained any of the Batman crossovers. That is kind of disappointing. So actually I buy it on its own and should have placed it where I found suitable online. So yeah, the first Batman story is after book 6 and the second one after book 10. Then we also got the book 3, which will be later on, and then we've got the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers as a crossover, so that will also be added on to this. But we've got, I mean, in reading order, we've got issue 1 to 4, a special A Lot to Learn, issue 5, Raphael, Michelangelo, the sort of micro series, which pretty much focused on them. Got issue 6, then we got Donatello micro series, issue 7 to 8, Leonardo, 9 to 10, and that 9 to 10 is where everything happens with Splinter and Shredder. We got Splinter's we got Splinter's sort of micro series, which is pretty much telling you what happened in his life before he became a rat. So it is his full storyline, its true storyline, and it's it pretty much was his Shredder's storyline as well. But I think he might have a micro series as well, what I saw online. And we got issue 11 to 12, which finished the story off nicely, and how it ended. How it ended is so warm felt and complete good. But I won't show the ending. I will show you some pictures though of the art style. Oh, there we go. We got the introduction here, the Raphael micro series. We've got the introduction of Apalex. So yeah, the artwork in this book is completely amazing. Here's the fox Apalex. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. We got an introduction of Casey. Pretty much Raphael found Casey as well. But yeah, the artwork in this, I have to admit, before Raphael came into it, all the turtles were wearing a red mask, and it was for the first few issues was kind of confusing to know which turtle saying what. But when Raphael do come, they do change the mask into the rightful colours, purple, orange and blue. And of course Raphael kept the red one. But I love also the spines. It's like a katana hilt. And just simply TMNT and number 1. I love these collections. I know this main series is just finished, and it got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Reborn, which after the big war. I mean, that one going off online. So I'm hoping after the big war that we also get the Reborn series in these hardback books, since they're continuation. I'm hoping that is the case, but I would imagine so. So yeah, I really enjoyed this series, and I will definitely be reading the rest of it. So stay tuned for my next video, and thanks for watching. This might be the last I will do of these single books reviews, because I haven't been getting that many noticed. So what I'm going to do is monthly readathons. I've been reading quite a lot when it comes to graphic novels and mangas, so I think about doing that. So I'll just finish book 1. So starting next month I will start off with book 2, and to make things simple. So I will definitely be looking forward to that. So stay tuned for my next videos, and thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.